Hi, my name is Nathan Chicolo, Senior Director within the Office of Admission and Evaluation from the University of Phoenix, presenting content created by the Vice President of the Office of Admission and Evaluation, Devin Andrews. Our topic is credit mobility culture. So, what is credit mobility culture? It's an intentional focus on supporting the modern adult learner who may have prior learning from multiple sources, which may require creative solutions that meet the student's needs while supporting the institution's mission. In recent years, we've seen a wealth of recommendations, initiatives, and reporting related to supporting students who have prior learning, whether that be from institutions of higher education or from non-academic learning or activities such as certifications, professional training, military service, testing services, and alternative course providers, as well as work and life experiences. You don't have to look too hard to find reputable sources. Thought leaders in higher ed are telling us what probably most of us at this conference already know. We need to do better when serving today's learners. This overwhelming message we hear is this. One, we need to address challenges in the transfer ecosystem. And two, the need to broaden our perspective on learning to consider all forms of prior learning. Credit mobility is about making it seamless for students to get the credit for prior learning, whether that's traditional academic credit or learning from other non-academic sources. Institutions with a credit mobility culture infuse this thinking into how they operate. It's part of the student's journey, and it's baked into their core admissions policies and practices. The National Student Clearinghouse, or NSC, recently released their latest data. They disclosed that over 36 million people living in the US under 65 have some college and no degree. This is up almost 3% from last year. This is not a one-off. This statistic has seen a steady increase for several years and is likely to continue. As these potential students who at some point will want to return and finish what they started, institutions must figure out how to meet their needs. At the University of Phoenix, we've been reflecting both on what we're doing well in this space and how we can continue to improve. Supporting adult learners with some college and no credential, including the use of prior learning assessment, has been part of our DNA since we were founded. So we decided to dive deeper into the components that support our credit mobility culture and ultimately benefit our students. Several of my colleagues recently wrote a white paper on this topic, which was published last fall. Included in that white paper were 5 pillars identified as necessary components to creating a healthy credit mobility culture. They were creating flexible policies and programs, embracing prior learning as a viable source of academic credit, providing improved clarity on transfer outcomes and options, removing barriers that impact student progression, and empowering students through relevant support services. So why is a credit mobility culture important? Well, with over 36 million people out there with some college and no degree, on top of all the students actively enrolled at institutions seeking to transfer, we needed to identify ways to serve these students better. Too often, these students haven't been served well in their prior educational experiences, and unfortunately, these same students run into barriers and challenges as they transfer or seek to return to the classroom later in life. They often experience credit loss, and that may not have learning recognized gained through their rich work and life experiences. We know that the modern adult learners have become increasingly more mobile and approach learning differently. They come with a lot of relevant prior learning, including prior college, military service, prior training and certifications, short-term learning and professional development, as well as informal learning. These students are typically career focused and they seek the most direct path to their goal, looking for options to reduce time and cost associated with achieving their educational goals. And they need our help unpacking it all. The task of figuring this all out on their own can be daunting, deflating, and demotivating. So this is where you come in. What can your institution consider to help create momentum towards developing a credit mobility culture? Well, here are 3 suggestions. Review your institution's policies and procedures related to transfer credit for prior learning, or CPL. Consider what outcome you're looking for. Are your policies and procedures effective at delivering that outcome? If not, what can be done to change? Look for somewhere to start, as small changes can have big impacts. Get to know your resources. CALE offers some great resources. There's JST, ACE, etc. Look for low-hanging fruit. Where's the friction in your process? How can you address it? Can you collaborate with other stakeholders, leaders, and faculty to ensure that all your transfer goals are aligned? Use data, both your own and data published by organizations such as CALE again, ACRO, or ACE, or others to help drive decisions related to policy and process changes. The second way is through experimentation with credit for prior learning. Whether you're offering CPL currently or not, looking for ways to make CPL more accessible supports a credit mobility culture. Now, if your institution's just getting started with CPL, remember, start small. You may want to identify a program, a department, or a student segment and focus your experiment on that parameter to keep it manageable. Measure the outcome of the experiment and share your results. Leaders are likely to be interested in positive student outcomes. So as you experience success, others will be interested in getting involved as well. And proving out the model can help convince naysayers that this is beneficial. As you share your successes, build a coalition of support and allies in the institution who will also help you champion CPL. You might be surprised to discover support in different parts of the institution. You also may want to consider surveying the student population in question so that the student satisfaction can be a driving factor in the direction you take this. But what if you're at an institution where CPL is already in place? Well, you can use a similar approach to experiment with ways to increase the participation and outcomes. For example, at UOP, we removed all fees associated with our PLA process back in 2020. And this was a process. We knew from student feedback that PLA fees were a primary barrier for students who were interested in pursuing PLA at UOP. We conducted an experiment that tested and reduced the fee structure to prove that removing the barrier would increase PLA usage. And over the course of the experiment, we gathered input from students and the data showed positive outcomes for our PLA users, which resulted in a dramatic increase in usage at our institution. Based on this data, we were eventually able to remove the PLA fees for our students, and they've been reaping the benefits since. The third thing is help them. Really find where they are and guide them through the process. I have no doubt everyone here has used YouTube or some other online source to watch a video to try and hack something. Maybe it's like how to do a simple car repair or how to fix things around the house. Well, believe it or not, people are posting videos about how to hack degrees, how to finish faster, and how to get credit transferred, and on and on. Have you ever explored TikTok or other social media to see what unofficial information is being shared about your institution? Well, brace yourself. Some of it may be misguided or wrong, but some of it is pretty savvy. So why do these videos get so many views? And why can't we be the ones driving the conversation with the student? I believe that most institutions think that they're already doing this, but we're missing the mark. We aren't putting the information in place as students are looking for it, and we aren't saying it in a language they understand. Making information accessible isn't as simple as pasting policy on your website. Students need to know what to do, how to do it in simple terms. Engage your students and learn from them about what doesn't make sense, what they wish they knew, and where they were looking for that information. We wish you well on your journey to creating a credit mobility culture at your institution and really look forward to hearing about your success. Thank you.